Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast. It's your buddy Adam, the PhD, the previously heavy dude, and this is episode number 290. We're talking about strategies for dealing with non-supportive family and friends, and the holiday season is upon us here. We're going to be exposed and spend more time with our family, with our friends, and then we add in like tempting food situations in there at the same time that can lead to more stress. So I want to unpack these situations a little bit today and dive into this as deep as we can to help you be as prepared as possible if you struggle with this area. This is, when I'm out there talking to you guys, whether it's people messaging me on Instagram or, hitting me up on the email or whatever, this comes up a lot. Like, I'm trying to lose weight, but my husband or my wife isn't on board and they're holding me back, or they're even worse, they're sabotaging me, or my kids are always eating tempting food. What do I do? Or my parents don't get it. My friends don't get it. So I'm hearing this a lot, and when I hear something a lot from you guys, I feel like that's the sign to go deep on something. So that is what we're doing here today. Real quick reminder before I forget, I tend to not mention this enough, but the name of the podcast is The Million Pound Mission, and we are on this Million Pound Mission together, and I need you guys to donate your lost weight. So if you have listened to the show and you've implemented something that's gotten you a positive result, even if it's just a pound, go on millionpoundmission.com, scroll to the bottom of that homepage. You'll see a place where you can donate that weight loss. I'm not asking for your email. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for anything there. Just donate that weight loss and you'll see it add to the total number. It's super cool. So if you donate like 25 pounds, then you'll see the total go up by 25 pounds right there. And screenshot that and tag me on Instagram at Million Pound Mission. I'll give you a shout out and we'll connect. So don't forget to donate those pounds at millionpoundmission.com. All right. Let's talk about the strategies for dealing with the non-supportive family and friends. And like I said, holiday season, this is the time of year when we're around these people more often, and we have a lot of food temptations. So it's important to unpack this. And the first thing I want to do is define 3 categories of friend/family support. I'm just kind of lumping them all in there. This is your spouse, your kids, your brothers, sisters, moms, dads, people that you work with, people that you're around a lot, your family and friends, all right? The first category is the supportive group. And these are the people that understand where you're coming from and they support you. And a lot of times, like if you're going keto, they might be doing it with you. They might not, but they are throwing support and positivity your direction. They're cheering you on, right? And this is the ultimate place to have our family and friends be. And this is where we all crave it. But we can't hold people to this standard necessarily, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But the supportive people, like those are our favorites, right? Like that, they make our transformation journey easier. So that's an awesome category that we hope a lot of people are in with our friends and family members. Now, the category where I feel like the large majority of people fit into, and this category kind of gets a bad rap from a lot of us that are out there stressing out about our transformation journey. This category is what I call uninformed and or neutral. So the uninformed people or the neutral people, this is where I said, the bulk of our friends and family are actually sitting. They don't totally understand what's going on, but they will most likely support you or at least not hold you back or not throw any shade or negativity in your direction. Now, that being said, well, first let me give you an example. So if you're going keto, so when I first went keto, my parents didn't totally understand. We'd have like Sunday dinners and, they would be like, well, okay, I think keto is meat, so I'll make meat or whatever. So they'll try to support and the best of their ability, but they probably won't fully understand exactly what's going down. And they might ask questions, and we can't be annoyed by those questions like this. That's a part of the deal. We want to educate people. Now, just a little caveat with this group. At some point in time, they will probably make an honest mistake that will irritate the hell out of you. All right. And we just have to understand that they're uninformed. They're not doing this to sabotage you. Like, that's not the intent of this group. So for example, same example before with my parents, if we're doing a Sunday dinner And my dad's like, well, I'm making ribs, and does that fit with your keto? I'm like, yes, that's awesome. Thanks, Dad, for providing some meat, because I can totally eat meat. So I reinforce that positivity with positivity. But then I show up and there's barbecue sauce all over the ribs, something like that. Like he just thinks, oh, ribs and barbecue sauce, that's how ribs are. And Adam said ribs are okay, so therefore it's okay. And that was an honest mistake that could happen. Lesson learned for me, that next time he mentions ribs, I'm like, hey, can you leave the sauce off part of them? That way it fits a little bit more with my ketogenics. I'm trying to keep it low sugar. And you do a little explanation in there, but it's all positive. It's all very constructive back and forth conversation. But just keep that in mind, that we can't let this group of people slip into the third category just because every once in a while they'll make a misinformed mistake because they just get their wires crossed a little bit because they don't understand exactly what the heck you're trying to do. And again, be ready for questions from this group. And that's not them questioning you or judging you. They're trying to move into that supportive group. So that's a good sign. All right. So again, this is probably the group that it gets lumped into the non-supporters, but really these people are neutral, and neutral is cool too. I know there are a lot of spouses out there that aren't necessarily like cheering you on, but they aren't holding you back either. And that's an okay place to be. I'll talk in a minute that your spouse didn't sign up to be your coach. They signed up to be your spouse. So neutral is okay also. My wife's a lot like that. I'm going on my ketogenic journey right now, and I'm doing strength training, and she's not like coaching me up or like really like doing a whole lot. She's not that interested in it. So it's not a big deal, but she's not holding me back at all. She's there to support me if I have questions, or she's a physical therapist. So if I have little injuries and things like that, she dives in to help. And that's a cool place to be in my book. So the third and non-cool place for friends and family to be is the category that I call non-supportive. They're sabotage, or they're conditionally supportive. These are the people that are purposefully throwing some negativity our direction. And the thing that I need you guys to understand is that these people are dealing with their own issues and their own insecurity. And what they're doing is that's going to manifest in them projecting negativity in your direction. If you guys are on a weight loss journey and you're making an effort to go out there and change your lifestyle, and you've had this group of friends that like, it's always been, Wednesday night nacho and beer night. And, why isn't Adam doing nachos and beer with us? Is he too good for us? Or they're going to give you some hell about it. But a lot of that, 99% of that is their own insecurity. They haven't crossed that line yet mentally with that commitment to get healthier. So they're going to project some of that negativity onto you. And that's not where we want people, but right now, we're going to dive back into these categories, but I want you to just understand the category at first. So the supportive group, they're on board. They're down to participate a lot of times. They're down to partner up and help you out. The uninformed or neutral group, that's where the bulk of people are. This is also an okay place. This is a good place. And we can't force anybody to level up. That's the key. It's got to kind of be on their terms. And the third category that we hope that we have the fewest amount of friends and family members in, but there will be some, and that's just the way it is the non-supportive, the sabotaging people, the saboteurs, and the conditionally supportive. What I mean by that, the conditionally supportive, I'll give you an example later, is the people that will support you, but only when it benefits them. And that, is not a good place to be either. All right. Next up, I want to talk about some of the things that we can control and really think about the vibe that we're putting out there, because that's important. A lot of people we do the projecting onto our family and be like, listen, my aunt or my uncle or my grandma or my mom or my husband or whatever, they won't X, Y, Z. Therefore, it's holding me back. And we're just pushing all the negativity, and we're letting them be the excuse as to why we can't make progress. And I want you to make progress, not excuses, right? So we have to think about the things that we can control and the vibe that we're initiating, the vibe that we're putting out there. So the first thing we have to really understand is that we have to make sure that our friends and family understand what our goals are. We have to communicate what we're trying to accomplish and why it's important to us. Our friends and family, they're not mind readers, and we can't expect them to be, to where they see us eating healthy and just assume that they need to support us. Like, they're going to have questions, and they may not ask those questions. So you might have to put some things out there and be like, hey guys, your family, your friends. This is why I'm doing this. I've got this goal. I'm training for this thing. This is why I'm eating this way. Here's the benefits I'm looking for. And just explain a little bit. And it's got to be in a low drama, non-judgy vibe. Because the last thing we want to do is take somebody that may be in that middle category, the uninformed and the neutral, and then make it feel like you will judge them if they don't get on board with it. That's going to make them go down to non-supportive immediately. So we cannot do that. It's not like, here's the line in the sand, either get on this side or get out. We can't do that. So we have to put out a low drama, non-judgy vibe, an educational vibe. Here's where I'm going. No pressure to join me. I would love that. That'd be cool. If you have questions, let me know. Like really open book, open-ended with our the way that we're explaining things to people. And the goal with that is to at least get everybody in that neutral category. As long as they aren't holding us back, then that's cool. Now, we also cannot assume that people are judging us. I see this all the time, and then we reverse that and project it into negativity at these people. Like a friend group, I had a guy that I was coaching that was really stressing out about his fantasy football draft situation. He's like, we always meet at this bar, we always drink a lot, we all get kind of wasted, and we all eat a bunch of bad food. And if I show up not acting like that, they're going to get judgy on me. They're going to give me hell about it. And I said, let's just do an experiment this year. No harm in it. And let's just see what happens. I said, I want you to go in there, and I want you to be your normal, friendly self, interact, high five, hug, get fired up, get rowdy, but then just order a salad and water and eat what you want to eat there and just do the fantasy football deal. And he went in and he did it, and he came back and goes, Adam, they didn't even notice. Like nobody said anything. There was no judgment placed. So we get this story worked up in our head before we even head into the situation. Like, oh, I can't go to the family thing. I can't go to grandma's thing because Aunt so-and-so will be there and she will be all crappy about me eating healthy and not eating her food. Like, we tell ourselves this story way far in advance, and we talk ourselves into all this negativity that we walk in the door with. All right. So we cannot assume that people are going to judge us. We got to give them an honest shot, right? Innocent until proven guilty, people. All right. Look, I already mentioned this before. I want to re-emphasize this. And I want you to really pay close attention. I'll even say it twice. Realize that your family and friends didn't sign up to be your fitness coach or your accountability partner. That's not part of their job description. All right. I'll say it again. We have to realize that our family and friends didn't sign up to be our fitness coach or our accountability partner. So just because you're going vegan or going keto or doing CrossFit or whatever, that doesn't mean that they automatically have to do it. And it sure as hell doesn't mean they have to coach you or hold you accountable to that. I think as far as accountability partners go, it doesn't work out so a lot for a spouse relationship. Like, I almost prefer to have that, like, we're doing it together. We're in it together, like teammates. But hey, you have to hold me accountable. And if I slip up, then you have to tell me I slipped up. Like, a lot of times that does not go the way we want it to go for either person in that equation. So we have to be okay with that, and okay with those family and friends being in the neutral or just the supportive mode. But if you need a coach, get a damn coach. I know a good one. Shameless plug. If you need accountability, find accountability. I can help you with that too. But don't put that on your spouse. Don't put that on your partner. Don't put that on your family. Don't put that on your friends. Just accept support and positivity and neutrality in some points. Those are all wins. All right. So let's talk a little bit about how to interact and deal with people from the 3 different categories. So I feel like I want to give you guys some action steps so you can identify, like, oh, my spouse is in this category. My friends are mostly in that category. Now, how do we deal with these people? All right. So the supportive people, you got to surround yourself with these people. These are your accountability anchor points, and reciprocate their support. So solidify them in that category so that when you see them doing something, you toss support in their direction, let them know, like, yo, I got your back. And it might not be a fitness thing. It might be like a job thing or a relationship thing. Like, just reciprocate that positivity that they've planted and put in your direction. All right. So solidify that. Then the uninformed and neutral crew, you have to be respectful if they wish to remain neutral. We cannot try to force them into the onboard status. We can't be like, listen, I really need you to do CrossFit with me, or I really need you to do this yoga boot camp with me, or go vegan with me. It's got to be their decision to level up if they want to level up. And again, we have to totally respect and appreciate that neutrality. Remember, negativity is the only enemy in this situation. That third category, neutral and supportive, both good. All right, that's going to help us get where we need to go. And with this middle group, we've got to educate them when the opportunity presents itself, but don't force the issue. And what I mean by this is, like, every dinner when you eat your keto meal, you aren't putting on a keto seminar, because people are going to get really sick of that and they're going to drop down a level. They're not going to level up, they're going to level down. And that is exactly the opposite of what we want. But if you're eating something and your kids ask questions about it, use that opportunity. If your spouse starts asking questions, use that opportunity. And every once in a while, like maybe you guys do a weekly or a monthly family meeting. We do one once a week, and I use that as an opportunity to educate or to toss an idea out there. But everybody gets to share equally. It's not me putting on a symposium on my life goals. All right. So that, again, that's the way we get people to level down. If it's all about us, then people will normally level down to the non-supportive, and that's not what we want. So don't force the issue. Educate when the opportunity presents itself naturally. All right, let's get to the third non-supportive group. These are people that bum us out. And we got to understand and come from a place that we know that they're dealing with their own stuff. Like, they've got their own stuff that they're dealing with. They've got those issues that they aren't ready to tackle yet. And we can't hate on them for that. So just maybe they're hating on us, but we can't hate on them back, because that's not, there's zero chance that we're going to get them to level up into at least a neutral position. All right. We've got to communicate with these people really well. And you have to make sure, we're not expecting these people, especially, to read our minds. So communicate. If somebody's really hurting you by the way that they act, or the way that they don't support you, or the way that they sabotage you, you need to have a conversation about that, and not just hold it in and hope that they fix it and like, oh, they know I'm mad, they should fix it. Well, maybe they don't totally understand the whole picture, and you need to have a conversation about this. All right. Give them the opportunity to level up. So don't hold them in that place of, oh, I've labeled you as category 3. Adam says you're category 3 and you are non-supportive. Therefore, I have put that label on your forehead. Like, if they start to show signs of leveling up, nurture that a little bit. Toss a little positivity their direction. Ask them if they have questions about what you're doing, and just kind of leave it at that. But again, it's got to be their journey. It's got to be their timeline, their speed of leveling up. Then, if things just don't improve, I've done this before. You just give them less of your time. If they don't attempt to level up, if they're holding you back, if there's negativity, if they are really trying to get you to fail in those nutritional situations, they're at that party and they're like, hey, let's just have a few drinks. Come on, you can do it. Trying to talk you into it, or they fully understand the situation. They're always trying to get you to cheat on your nutrition plan, or if you feel like they're always testing you to see if you're actually into it and they're just negative, give them less of your time. And this is a situation that I've had to do this more often than I would like to admit. But I'm big on, I'm the average of the people that I surround myself with, and I need supportive people that are on board with the direction that I want to push my life. And I'm not afraid to ruffle a few feathers here and there, or go against the grain a little bit, but I'm going to surround myself with the most supportive people, or at least the neutral people that aren't, attaching those anchors to me to try to drag me back. And, you hear the whole crab in a bucket analogy thing, that half people in the world believe that this actually happens, and half are like, no, that's a myth. The crabs don't act like that. But it's basically about somebody trying to escape, and your friends trying to pull you back down into their comfort zone, which you're trying to move outside of that. And again, it's a bummer of a thing to do. And, I'm sure that some of you are out there going, but Adam, this person, I'm married to this person. Now what? I don't recommend like giving them less of your time, but you got to get some help, get some therapy, like tag in another person and work on it. Don't, just sit and just hope that things manifest and fix themselves. Have discussions, open communication, and just make it positive, non-judgy, positive vibes. Because like I said, a lot of those people are just hurting because they don't feel the strength to make the change that you're trying to make. All right, so come from a place of positivity. And again, you didn't sign up to be their coach or their therapist or their accountability partner. So it's more about you just saying, hey, let's go get some therapy. Let's go get some counseling. Let's go talk to somebody. This is really important to me. And I feel like this is, downgrading our relationship or something like that. Have that conversation, because you deserve to have that conversation and have a shot at least getting neutrality. If you're married to somebody, I believe you at least deserve neutrality. If they are dragging you backwards, conversations need to be had and work needs to be put in. That's just I'm not a therapist, but that's my humble opinion on that. Okay, let's wrap it up here. I've got 3 questions that I think we need to ask ourselves if we're feeling frustrated with our family and friends. So 3 questions to ask ourselves if we're feeling frustrated with family and friends. The first question, and again, this is about us taking control of the situation and controlling what we can control. First question, am I effectively communicating, or am I expecting people to read my mind? So what I want you to do is think about that person that's really pissing you off, that in that non-supportive category, and just ask the question, have I really clearly communicated in a positive, non-judgy way what I'm trying to do, why I'm trying to do it, and why their support's important to me? Or am I expecting them to read my mind because they can obviously see I'm upset and they should ask how they can help? All right? What side of the fence are you sitting on with that person? Control what you can control and start a conversation that needs to happen. All right, second question, am I showing up in a way that allows people to support me? All right, so are you showing up to that party, that holiday party, that holiday get-together with positivity, and you're not showing judgment on people that aren't eating the way that you want? You aren't making it a big pain in the butt. Like I don't have any problem with bringing my own food or making a little request here or there, but it's very low key. It's not like my way or the highway type of thing. You just want to show up in a way that is going to allow people to support you. So you aren't bringing friction to the equation. All right. So are you doing that? Third question, am I focusing on controlling the things that I can control? And if you're trying to change another person, the answer has to be no, because that's the most impossible thing in the world to do. I've worked with thousands of people, but I can't change them. I can give them the tools to change. I can give them the processes. I can add a little fire, a little inspiration, but ultimately the change is up to them. You guys have to take that step. I can't grab your foot and make the step for you. All right. Same thing when we're trying to get people to level up and support us or become at least a neutral party in our transformation journey. So are you controlling the things that you can control, like how you show up to the situation, how you react to these people, whether you put in action or not, whether you eat healthy or not? I mean, all these other people will be damned, like if they aren't going to support you, okay, but they aren't putting food in your mouth. They aren't, making you eat or drink a certain thing. So control what you can control. You can show up for yourself. Start there and build your momentum. All right. So hopefully this one, I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good about this now that we're done, if I do say so myself. But again, this time of year should be about celebration of relationships, because we're around people. We get a little extra time with the people that we love the most. So let's not make it about stress and friction and whether people are supporting you or not. So use some of these steps. Maybe that'll initiate or facilitate some better conversations that are going to be brought to table by you in a non-judgy and positive way. And let's see what happens. And I'd love to hear your results. If you implement some of these things, you hit me up on Instagram at Million Pound Mission. Send me a direct message and let me know how things are going with these family and friend situations. All right. If you have any topics that you want me to cover in upcoming episodes, we're wrapping up the year. We're heading into 2020. Let me know what you want to talk about. Let me know what you need help with. Again, hit me up at Million Pound Mission on Instagram, or just go to millionpoundmission.com, hit the contact button, and kick me an email that goes directly to me. And I'm using a new video reply service where you'll get a personalized video from me. And if you hit me up on DM on Instagram, you'll get a voice message so that you know that it's me. It's not Robo Adam. I've not invented that technology yet. That technology does not exist. All right. So I appreciate you guys. The feedback has been amazing on the show. I appreciate you guys sharing it out. That just means the world to me. Spreading the word, spreading the love of the Million Pound Mission. And now it's time to get out there and own it. Every meal, every workout, every day. I will see you on the next episode. Well, hey there, good looking. I want to say thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast. And I've got a favor to ask you. If this episode made an impact for you, would you share it out with one person? Help me spread the message of the Million Pound Mission and add some fuel to the fire of our goal to achieve 1 million pounds of amazing results. And speaking about that 1 million pounds, if you haven't gone to millionpoundmission.com lately and donated your weight loss, please do it or I'll never reach my goal. So head on over to millionpoundmission.com, donate that weight, and spread the word that we are on a 1 million pound mission together.